ex-husband cheated on me and left me. But now, after the divorce, he is losing it when he sees me happy with my new boyfriend. Last year, my ex-husband had an affair and decided to leave me. Honestly, I felt this sense of relief when it happened. From the outside, our marriage looked fine, but on the inside, it was completely hollow. For years, I felt like I was drowning under the financial abuse he put me through. He had this habit of taking large amounts of money from my account, leaving me scrambling to cover our bills. Thousands of dollars just gone. When I'd confront him about it, he'd turn everything around on me, saying I wasn't earning enough money. No matter what I did, it was never good enough for him. Everything I did seemed to irritate him. I tried planning date nights or family activities, but he was never interested. He'd complain or get angry, saying he'd rather just stay in bed. Eventually, I stopped trying to include him in anything, which of course led to more complaints. He'd accuse me of keeping our child away from him, even though he showed zero interest in participating. After some time, he started spending nights away from home. At first, he'd say he was staying at a friend's house, but when I asked questions, he'd get irritated and tell me it was none of my business. When he finally wanted a divorce, I had mixed emotions. I was worried about what my life would look like, but I also felt relieved there was an end in sight. I made sure to carefully read all the documents his lawyer sent over. Turns out his lawyer wasn't very careful at all and made tons of mistakes, which delayed our hearing by several months. The mistakes were massive. They misspelled my name and his name, got both our birth dates wrong, even messed up our child's name and birth date. They listed children that weren't ours, got our marriage date wrong, had our address incorrect. They included properties we didn't own, pets we didn't have, businesses that weren't ours. One draft even suggested a settlement for $500,000 for businesses we didn't own. Another draft had his lawyer's own name spelled wrong, which I found hilarious. It took 7 drafts before they fixed most of the mistakes. Even the final draft still had major errors. During the proceedings, his lawyer tried arguing that I should cover all the court and legal fees. I pointed out that most of the delays were due to their mistakes, not mine. The judge agreed and didn't make me pay those fees. After the divorce, he moved in with the woman he'd left me for. She turned out to be abusive. Once I changed all my banking passwords, he suddenly lost access to my money. He realized pretty quickly how much he'd been relying on my income, which was apparently quite a shock. To make things worse, he'd been managing the mortgage payments for the house we lived in, which actually belonged to his aunt. Because he stopped paying, the house almost got foreclosed on. His aunt came to me desperate for help, saying if I wanted to stay, I'd need to cover the back payments, which added up to $15,000 for 6 months. I didn't have that kind of money, so I suggested buying the house from her instead. She agreed, and now I own the house that used to belong to his grandfather. It's been a year since the divorce was finalized. I got a promotion at work with a significant raise. I'm still in the same house, making improvements whenever I can. I started seeing a therapist who encouraged me to focus on personal growth. I changed my diet and exercise routine and lost over 50 pounds. I got back into soccer and started coaching my kids' team. I've been meeting new people through online dating and enjoying my single life. Looking back, it's almost funny how he left what was actually a stable situation for someone who turned out to be nothing like he expected. Last week, he showed up at one of the soccer games. After it ended, he walked up and asked if I was ready to move back in with him. I was completely caught off guard and asked why on earth I would do that. He launched into this whole speech about how we're still in love, we have a kid together, and it would be better if we raised them together. I told him straight up that I don't have any love or trust left for him. I even reminded him he still owes me $1,100 for car repairs. His response was that he'd pay me back if we moved in together. That's when I just burst out laughing. I doubled over from laughing so hard. Seeing me laugh like that, he actually started crying, which honestly just made me laugh even harder.